You've been around how they operate in that front office. Dude, would I be out of line if I said this, that the Eagles could actually be seriously looking at a quarterback and wide receiver in the first round?
Now, hey, the way they're acting, they might be getting ready to surprise us. I mean,
welcome back, National Football Show. It's your boy Big Sills. Are the Eagles really helping Jalen Hurts become the best player he possibly can? Okay? Are they really? Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. I want to bring in my friend here, Garry Cobb from Fox 29. Gary, I want to read you something. I read this to you last week, and I'm going to do it again here. But I found out what the base salaries are, not just the cap hits, too, the offensive firepower, whatever you think of it, when it comes to the Eagles. Devontae Smith, base, $825. Quez Watkins, base, $895. Zach Pascal, base, $1 million. Tight end, Dallas Goedert, base, $1 million. Sanders, running back, base, $1.2. You got $5 million basically tied up in 5 football players. How in the world are you making Jalen Hurts a better player when you're not actively looking at people like DK Metcalf or A.J. Brown who are out there, didn't even look at Allen Robinson? I mean, you know, I don't know. Gary, maybe they're looking at quarterback, they're looking at wide receivers, but I want you to explain to folks when you don't spend money, and I'm not saying an exorbitant amount of money, but look at what they're doing in Miami. They just signed a $25 million a year wide receiver for a guy they're not sure on in Tua.
I know.
Help me understand what the Eagles are doing. You've been around them long enough.
Well, you know, they're definitely not being as aggressive as I thought they would be. I thought they would go out and get a veteran receiver, somebody who can kind of be a big brother to this young group. You know, these young kids, I think they have some talent there. But clearly, you know, they got to develop. You know, last year I saw some things that you don't see in the NFL. They had a couple of catches, maybe about 5 catches, where the guy runs out of bounds, steps out of bounds, catches a touchdown. You stepped out of bounds. What are you doing running out of bounds? I mean, you got to make sure that you run your route so you start it so you don't even have a chance of running out of bounds. I mean, how many guys played and never ran out of bounds? They never caught a pass where they ran out of bounds before they caught the ball. Happened 3, 4, 5 times. I think a few times where they caught touchdowns and had gone out of bounds. That's rookie stuff. That's, you know, things you don't happen. Meaning Jalen Hurts wasn't the problem. Problem was the receiver, he's not thinking about what he's going to do in his route and where he knows where he's at on the field. And so that's rookie stuff, you know, and there were other things that happened where just not polished. They got to get a lot more polished as receivers. That's where you get a veteran receiver that you bring in and you work along. You have him almost like a big brother to these guys, because sometimes, you know, a coach can do a certain amount, but in certain levels where you want players communicating with each other, where a veteran player can teach you some things that nobody else can, you know, and it's able to be communicated because you see him doing it every day. And then he's in the meeting room with you and everything. So I thought they were going to do that because they got to make jumps. They got to they got to do it now. They got to make some jumps, just like there's pressure on Jalen. And clearly, you know, you see, he knows that they're looking at other people. I mean, if they could have gotten something done with Watson, clearly they were talking and they were, you know, so that puts some fire under you when you hear that kind of stuff. If you're a player in the NFL, stuff is competitive. We don't have all day. You got to get it done now. And they clearly got to get more polish out there at the receiver spot. And they got to do it next year. We don't have time to wait. You know, nobody's got time in the NFL. They got time to sit around, because you can sit around a little bit and all of a sudden your time is up. It's time to move on. That's the way the league is. The clock is ticking right now during the offseason. Guys have to get up every day, and they got to be working to improve their game because the clock is ticking on you. And we know that they're probably going to do something. You know, defensive line, offensive line, you want to do something in the secondary, maybe the cornerback position. Are they going to be able to get another receiver? There's no guarantee. So I thought definitely they would already have a wide receiver. So somebody is, something is going wrong.
No. And to your point, Gary, Shannon Sharp came out and he said earlier today, because I was watching his show, that he believes the Eagles were also the fifth team that were talking to the Texans and Nick Caserio. So to everyone's point, Shannon's saying that he had talked to Arthur Blank and he knows Arthur Blank very well. It was a signed, sealed delivery, either Carolina or Atlanta, on where he was going. And then the Browns parachuted in with that extra $85 million. So there's no doubt that the Eagles at least had some type of conversation. But back to Jalen here. Here's the problem, the way you're constructing the team on the cheap. If you're going to maintain the mentality here where you're going to be a run-dominant football team, one, you become one-dimensional. You're a one-dimensional team, and if I am a defensive coordinator, I keep this guy in the box.
Yep.
I get frontal pressure on him.
Yep.
He's not going to win a game for me this coming season where he's going to break the perimeter. They've got game tape on this guy.
That's right.
So I said this earlier today. You may have to compromise being the best running attack in the game to bring in a big-time wide receiver to help Jalen. Look at what Amari Cooper did for Dak. Look at what they're trying to do in Miami for Tua Tagovailoa. But yet the Eagles think they're going to go into the draft and miraculously some guy who doesn't know how to play at the NFL level is going to influence Devontae or the rest of these guys to turn this into at least not so one-dimensional. Man, they need veterans in this place. Look, not just in the O-line, Gary.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, that's something that is a given. And there's certain, techniques and nuances to playing the wide receiver game on the pro level. And the thing is now, this is a passing league. Come on. I mean, great. You won some games running the ball. You're going to have to be able to keep up with these guys who are putting 30, 40 points on the scoreboard, and you got to be able to score. And, that's just the way this league is right now. And their wide receivers that are out there, I'm just shocked that they haven't gone after them. Where and maybe it's because they were trying to keep money available if they made a blockbuster deal or whatever. But we need to see something come up where they sign a veteran receiver. This kid, come on. What's the kid's name? Zach. Come on. That kid.
Zach Pascal.
Come on. That's
Zach Pascal. And Garrett, I made the point with this kid, Jalen Waddle, who, in my opinion, is a better player than Devontae Smith. And here's why. That kid had 104 catches with Jacoby Brissett throwing him the ball. 104 catches, and the head coach got fired. And he had 104 with Jacoby Brissett and Tua, who we're not even sure is an NFL franchise quarterback yet. Don't tell me, well, Jalen, he's a young guy on a rookie deal. That guy was on a rookie deal also, and that guy was injured his senior year at Alabama.
Yeah.
He goes down to South Florida, puts up 1,100 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, and 104 catches.
Yeah. I mean,
nobody quarterbacks.
That's impressive. There's no doubt about that. And then, the aggressiveness they showed, by going out and getting the cheetah, that's big time football. That shows you want to win. And then that's going to tell, Tua, look, buddy, there's no other excuses. We want to win now. And that's the NFL. Not about winning tomorrow, because you don't even know tomorrow's going to get here. You got to win right now. You got to be and I thought they would be more aggressive. Maybe we're going to see something come out of somewhere. You got the draft picks. Okay. They got to do something. They need something, but they need a veteran. You can't just have all these young kids out there running. You got a young quarterback too. It doesn't usually work that way. You need somebody there with some seasoned accomplishments that's able to steer them the right way during games and the nuances too, running routes properly, making adjustments during the game. You help the quarterback. You help him. Hey, you can tell him, go back here. Hey, this is what I see. You're talking to him. You need a veteran guy out there.
So they end up going out and getting Kaiser White from the Chargers. And I say this to you, and I ask you, I go, 140 some odd tackles last year. That's pretty good. But on a football team that couldn't stop the run. And now I'm like, Gary, that could be the people in front of this kid White. So I'm not going to say, well, I don't know really too much, because I really don't think that the Chargers have had a defensive tackle in there since Jamal Williams was in there running the nose for them. They really haven't had that dominant defensive tackle. So maybe the scrape lanes were congested for him. So I'm going to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. But then I look at the Rams. They got Bobby Wagner in town.
I know.
We're talking to Bobby Wagner, 174 tackles. Guy's got a Super Bowl ring, probably going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's got some juice left in the tank.
Yep.
Dude, you put that guy on your football team, you sign Honey Badger, that changes the entire look of your secondary and your line of scrimmage play with the triangle with two free agents. If they were so apt to go out and do that, then you get your guy, the edge rusher in the draft with this kid, potentially from this kid Walker from Georgia. You put him at the end, Wagner in the middle, Honey Badger in the secondary. I'll tell you what, I feel comfortable going into a football season with those three dudes on my team.
I mean, that's some aggressive moves. I can't say that I expect them to do that type of thing because of what they got offensively. Where I don't know that they believe in Jalen to that extent yet. But that would be some aggressive moves, man. That would have you have a defense that would be aggressive when it comes to turnovers. Because you're talking about bringing in, players that know how to help create turnovers, and those are marquee guys. You probably might be looking at two guys who are going to be in the Hall of Fame in the future. That would be some big time moves. I don't know that I see the Eagles doing that, but if they did it wouldn't be anybody complaining. I tell you that. They wouldn't be complaining about
Gary,
that.
It just seems they talk a lot. I see their lips moving, but I don't hear anything a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this has been very disappointing so far this offseason. Come on. What are you guys doing over there? I mean, come on. They gotta do something.
Well, no. They did. Wait. They signed Derek Barnett back to a 2-year, get this, Gary, 25 games. He's got 4 sacks.
I know.
Why?
I mean, the thing about it, you got, of course they're going to have those guys coming back, and Barnett plays hard, he makes stupid penalties, but he's not a marquee guy. He doesn't get to the quarterback. You got to get to the quarterback. Come on. This is what this league is about. You got people that affect the passing game. He plays hard. I will give that to him, but he's just not a marquee guy. Is a signing which, I don't know that you could seriously say you're going to have him on the field on third downs when the game's on the line. You got to get pass rushers on the field. I don't think he will be on the field right now. It'll be Reddick on one side and the other kid on the other. Who am I thinking of? A 94 will be out there. He'll be on the other side. You can't put Barnett out there anymore, man. 2 sacks. Come on, you can't put him out on the field more. They giving him 4 years to show his stuff. He plays hard. He plays the run and the pass, but he's a backup. He's not a starter.
Josh Sweat on the other side.
Yeah, Josh Sweat.
Let me, Gary. Am I crazy when I throw this out now? Because you've been around how they operate in that front office. Dude, would I be out of line if I said this, that the Eagles could actually be seriously looking at a quarterback and wide receiver in the first round?
Now, hey, the way they're acting, They might be getting ready to surprise us. I mean, you don't know. You know, and they fall in love with quarterbacks.
Yeah. And wideouts.
Yeah, and wideouts. Yeah, they fall in love. And there's some guys there. I mean, there's some talent there. There's no doubt about it. You got a lot of talent at the wide receiver position early in this draft.
The kid from your school, London,
yep,
is a player in the 2 Ohio State kids, and the kid
yep.
Burks from Arkansas.
Yep. And I mean, I see talent. I saw some of their workouts. I was looking at them workout. They got talent. There's talent at the wide receiver position early in this draft. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went after another one. That would not be a surprise because I see them there. The thing is, what about these other positions? What about your defense? You keep going to the well. Hey, if you got to keep going to the well at that wide receiver position. I want somebody fired over there. You know why? You drafted all these other guys. Come on, you're missing all those. Get somebody out of there, man. You can't do that. You can't say you're doing a good job if you're missing that many times because, clearly, they got wide receivers. At least I know 2 of them definitely, one a first rounder, one a second rounder, that need to be gone. And you drafted those guys and you got nothing out of them. You messed up those picks. Somebody should pay for that. I mean, normally that's the way it happens in the NFL. You mess up, somebody pays. Somebody got to pay for that.
Gary, paying for – that's a great line. That's the line of the day. $825 in base for Devontae. To $895 for Watkins, $1 million for Zach Pascal, Goddard $1 million, Sanders $1.2. Do you know that Gardner Minshew makes more money this year, 2.5, than Jalen Hurts at 1.6? How are you telling me they're helping the kid? They can't justify it, right? And watch this. Going into the draft, agreed. But why are the Eagles so hell-bent on being on cheaper contracts and these prove-it-to-me contracts?
That's right. I think you're right. The wide receiver position, you look at what everybody else is expending at that position because it's so important now in the NFL because this is a passing league. And you got multiple receivers on the field. You usually have 3 wide receivers at least on the field all the time. That's why there's a value. You got to have talent out there. You got to have groomed talent that's ready to play right now. And you can't say that these kids are ready to go right now. And, and you're right. They're not spending any money on them. I thought sure they would have a veteran. I'm talking about an accomplished veteran wide receiver. I expected them to have on this team when they go back into the camp. I don't know how they can do that right now.
And finally, I have to leave you with Will Smith smacking the shit out of.
Oh man!
Hey, what? Hey! I'm not going to pollute it. I want to hear what you thought when you saw. Hey.
I mean, I was sitting there watching it. I couldn't believe it. And dude, you cannot do that, man. You cannot do that. Man. Come on, you got to have more class. First of all. When a guy is paid to come in and tell jokes, you know what he does? He tells jokes. I mean, are you kidding me? My wife was telling me all the stuff, the dirt that they have put out there about their marriage.
Yeah, it's like open marriage. And get this, she told Will Smith, "This is, the reason I cheat on you is because you don't stand up for me." And I don't know, man. I'm finding more of this out too.
There, but you can't have anybody telling a joke about her, because she got that disease and cut the hair down. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. Now, I could have seen him when they had a break back behind the scenes. Go ahead, dude. Stay away from my lady with the hair, man. Stay away from that. Fine. We could do it. But to go up and punch and slap him like he did, come on, man. You can't lose it. And the thing about it is we got kids throughout the country, because I try to go talk to kids. Dude, don't do anything stupid and ruin your career, ruin your life. You get involved in some crime, you lose your head, you go attack somebody. Come on, don't do stupid things like that.
Hey, Gary,
be in control of yourself.
I told everyone here, don't ever put everything on the line when there's nothing to gain.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me? No, he really was fortunate because it's not over yet. But, I mean, dude could sue him. I mean, come on.
No, they could certainly. He could have arrested his ass right there. The LAPD goes, you want to press charges?
That's right.
And he goes, no, I'm not doing any of that. And he
walked
out.
Over what? Over what? I mean,
a bad joke.
The thing is ironic is they had put all this dirt out, and you're going to make a big deal about that. Come on, man. Take a joke. The guy's paid to come in and tell jokes.
Wasn't even his joke. The people wrote it for him, and he said it, and he got the shit slapped out of him. Gary, I got to go, my friend. I love you, man.
Have a good one.
Man. Garry Cobb, Fox 29, man. He joins us each and every single Monday. Take it from somebody who's put stuff on the line before. I learned a lesson. Dude, there's nothing to gain. Don't put everything on the line like that. He put his reputation on the line. Something he'll never get back. So that moment will define him. His greatest moment in motion picture history, Will Smith, will always be tainted by that. The moment of Deshaun Watson signing his contract for $230 million should have been a great moment for him in Cleveland. Bad moves will always taint that move. No matter how and what he does. He'll always be tainted. Got the richest contract in NFL history. People don't know that right now. We'll talk more a little bit about that. But again, guys, I want Jalen to succeed. Do the Eagles. Hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.